Obviously, it was a hard-fought game. A game that looked like we got down early in the game and had foul trouble. And I thought we had some big minutes by guys that came off the bench to keep us within striking distance when we went in at halftime. Down 3, we didn't think we'd played very well. I thought that was a big key for us to close out the first half. And I can't say enough, the guys that came off the bench and were able to play minutes and some play minutes and be productive, particularly defensively, was really big for us.
Okay, we'll let the student athletes, if you guys have questions for the players, step up there. We have junior Jermaine Crumpton, junior Kassius Robertson. If you guys want to ask them questions, go ahead.
Jermaine, 31 on the night, some pretty big threes, some pretty big shots down the stretch. Was just a night you just kind of feeling it?
Yeah, I had a good bounce to me today, but I like to credit my teammates, for getting me the ball and screening for me and put me in position to do something with the basketball.
What's the vibe like this week with practice and knowing that UB is a team that Coach Witherspoon has been with, and what was the vibe like coming into this game?
It was just like any other opponent we was facing. We treat everybody, like with no name on the front of their jersey, and go out there, prepare. The coaches did a great job putting together a scout for us, and we went out here and we got the win.
But you knew the history, just the rivalry, even taking Reggie out of it, and you guys probably knew that you were the underdog coming into it. So what was the fire and the fuel, and then now the feeling that you pulled it off against a team that a lot of people didn't think you could?
Like you said, it's a rivalry game. Great win for in the Big Four Classic. But it's just fun. I told you guys earlier in the week that we was gonna go out there and play hard, and just like we did a year ago at their place. Another overtime game, but basically it was better turn of events this time, and it was fun.
Did you expect to shoot this well playing in a big arena that you guys only play in once a year?
I'm gonna shoot my shots. If I'm open, I'm gonna take shots. Cause if I don't do that, then I'm hurting my team. And I'm gonna do what I can. Create shots for other players. But shots were falling this time. I continued to shoot, and they continued to fall, and we got the win.
Was this the best game of your life?
The best game of my life. I mean, it was fun, but I wouldn't say it. I mean, numbers-wise, yes, but other than that, like I said.
Think of a better one?
Absolutely, in Vegas last year when we won that, when we came back from 13 down and we won that one. That was a fun one too to be a part of. But it was a good game. I shot well, but my teammates, without my teammates, we wouldn't have got this win.
Could you talk about playing in this offense? I mean, you hit threes from the top of the key, from the corner, the wing. I mean, if you're moving, you're gonna get opportunities all over the court.
Yeah, coach emphasized that, turning the court over, not letting it stick, keep it moving, keep the ball movement. And when we do that, we get good shots and we shoot a good percentage. So, I mean, it's basically just on moving the basketball and, keep guys moving, constantly moving. It's hard, it's tough to guard.
Obviously, Phil's sitting almost the whole first half. I mean, that's not ideal.
Oh, no.
I mean, did Coach say to you anything that, pick it up, or did you think that, well, maybe I should
I feel like
shot a little more?
No, I just feel like coach don't need to tell me to pick it up. We know that Phil got in early foul trouble, so in my mind it's just register. One of my colleagues is on the bench, one of our starters, one of our top guys. We just stay the course and we continue to execute.
And credit the guys off the bench too.
Yeah, definitely.
Came in and played big.
Definitely, they definitely put in good minutes for us.
What was the message at going into overtime? Because you guys really came out and basically gave them a roundhouse punch out the gate.
We do this drill in practice called 3 clean stops every day, which you have to get 3 clean stops, and if you don't get 3 in a row, then you're out. And that's exactly what we were saying in that timeout. In overtime, we said 3 clean stops to start this overtime, and we did an amazing job. We forced them to some tough shots. We kind of slipped up once or twice with some rebounds. It kind of went out of bounds, but we picked it up. We got good stops.
Kassius, what did you think of Crumpton playing?
Oh man, he carried us the whole game offensively and defensively. He had some huge charges, which I think were the biggest plays. The points were amazing, but he had some clutch charges. to send us into overtime, to stop them from getting a shot off. But yeah, he carried us, and we just jumped on his back and got the win.
How about the three? Describe the play at the end of the half.
Oh, the second half.
No,
The end of the first half. Oh, I don't know. You
It
seen
was
the
no
ball?
play.
It really wasn't. I forget what we called, but the play broke down. We had to scramble. The ball was on the loose. Jabril Faulkner made a tremendous, effort to keep it alive, and I just tried to find space, rose, and it fell.
It was a fall away. I mean, it wasn't right. I mean, it was
Yeah,
deep.
yeah, it was a tough shot, but I just tried to create space, and luckily the shot went in.
How much of an added boost of confidence is this win with everything that this game kind of involved? Now you guys have won 4 straight. How do you guys feel overall now?
Same as the other ones. Four in a row streak. We're trying to keep the streak alive. This win doesn't count any more than the other ones. We're just trying to get as much prepared as we can for MAC play, and I think we're proving to everybody that we can be a contender. They picked us 9th, and we're trying to prove that that's not true.
You can't get you can't get too high, you can't get too low. This is obviously a big win for us, but we got Bonaventure coming up, so we looking forward for that one too.
Kassius, I mean, if you went back and played, I don't know, pick a Orangeville Prep or something, some rival you'd want to win. How good does it make you feel to get a win for Coach Witherspoon against the team that he used to coach?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think for a coach it means any more than the other wins that we got this year. For me personally, it was good because last year was a tough one. Last year was a game I definitely thought we should have won in overtime. We lost on pretty much a buzzer beater, and I think we should have won last year, and I think we should win this year, and that's exactly what we did.
You picked up defensively. You were picking up C.J. Massenberg, the point guard, pretty much the whole game, full court. I mean, it wasn't a full court press, but you were picking him up the whole way.
I think that was Malik. Malik a little bit more.
Right, Malik.
Yeah.
What did you think of that? Do you feel like you were trying to make it not easy for them?
Oh yeah, for sure. Malik's amazing at that. He's a quick little guard that pretty much can stay in front of anybody full court. And he might not have got a steal every single time, but he tired them out. He kind of disrupted their offense. As a team, we disrupted their offense. We tried as best we could. Taking those seconds off the shot clock just to bring up the ball. And they were trying to get some full court screens for him because they knew Malik's a good on-ball defender full court. So we did a good job with that.
Jermaine, do you know the last guy to score 30 in this building?
Matt just actually told me. He said it was Steph Curry. That feels pretty good. But, yeah.
Were you at that game?
No, I was not at that game.
After this win and moving forward, how are you guys feeling about the rest of the season, and what are you looking forward to most?
Just keep coming together. We're building a brotherhood. I told the guys in the locker room we're on to something very special, and if we stay the course, we lock in. We can do those special things.
We got one more game before we dive into MAC play, so we're just trying to loosen up every screw we can and go in strong.
Gentlemen, thank you. Appreciate it. Coach Witherspoon will come back for us. You guys want to have questions, Coach?
I know the guys say they looked at it as just another game. I know earlier in the week, the media, you said it was another game. You really hadn't thought about it up until after the St. Francis game, I guess it was. But is there any added specialness, I guess, to this win being it was against you?
It is for, I think, I just was reading some text messages, and I just, for the people who have, stayed with us when we were down as a family, I think it's really, it means a lot to them. I could see that from the text messages from our friends, some of them coaching around the country. It meant, I could see it meant a lot to them. Some of our family members, it meant a lot to them. And I was at Alabama's, I've got some text messages from there, and I was at Chattanooga, and I got some text messages from there, and It meant a lot to those people that were, with us, particularly that first year. I could see that it meant a lot, to them because, they were with us when we were down, and it was difficult. And so for family that were, checking on us, on me especially, I could see where it was, important to them.
Does it kind of put a bow on that side of things because you hadn't played against them, and now you had dealt with the questions and maybe the oddity of being on the other sideline? Does this kind of allow you to move forward fully?
What actually allowed me to do that was being in Tuscaloosa for a year, and then being in Chattanooga, but particularly Tuscaloosa was very therapeutic. I didn't get asked any questions about Buffalo, and I didn't see any games. The first time I saw any game was in preparation for today's game. So getting away from it really helped, and I think that was big, and having the understanding of Anthony Grant and his staff was really, really important in helping me get through it. And so, yeah, I mean, after that, it was just, okay, let's line up. We got to prepare. Let's, what are we doing when this happens? What are we looking for? What are they looking for? I mean, in the game, at some point, I said, I don't know any of the guys. So personnel, matchups wise, it really was like any other game. I just only knew the games that I saw leading up to the game.
Hey, so you have dozens? How many text messages you got?
It's still buzzing now. I mean, it's
so dozens is safe.
No, it's probably 40 or 50 of them.
Okay.
What were those emotions, though? You see the UB in the crowd, and you hear those cheers, and they're now against you. I mean, was there any oddities of it? Was it surreal? Was it weird? I mean, what were the emotions? Even initially before the ball was tipped.
Yeah. I came out of the locker room and I saw some people on my way to the bench in the hallway. Actually, before I got out here, there was a couple younger UB fans that came over and said thank you. But after that, once I got on the court, I saw some people right behind our bench, but they were, family and friends, and many of them who were, calling and checking on us every day. I saw them, and I know what their emotion was before the game started. And then after that, it was really kind of what was in front of us. The game was moving really fast at a good pace, and then in foul trouble. And so I didn't really. The first time I saw someone in the crowd wearing UB was I saw Mrs. Griner. And I was able to, the other ones I may have seen them, but I didn't. But she's a special person, and it would have been difficult for me not to recognize her face.
Crump, just what can you say about him?
Phenomenal. His energy, that's what I would say. His energy has gotten better every game. He's lost weight and he feels more comfortable in every game. He has more energy to put out at both ends of the floor. It's the difference between where he is right now and where he was the first 4 or 5 games, even night and day.
How much weight would you say he's lost since, or where does he stand since, the day one, since May, June 1st?
I think he's lost 15.1 pounds.
Okay.
It's just, this is, yeah, we.
Okay.
That was as of a couple of days ago. We'll see what it is on Monday.
I mean, did you just, how Phil goes out, that's a problem.
We couldn't have survived that 2 weeks ago.
No.
We wouldn't have been able to survive that, and maybe not even until today, because we had guys come off the bench that had not played in several games. Jabril Faulkner came in at 3. Yeah, I mean, he gave us a lot of minutes and gave us some rebounds and gave us a presence around the basket. He's been gradually doing a little bit more of that every game. But Jabril had played in several games, and when you need guys to take on an inventory of minutes, and he was able to do that. Dante's minutes were important. obviously Spencer's minutes were important.
Does Crump have the green light
What,
from the moment he leaves the bus, or?
What we tell our guys with shots is the most important thing is the rhythm. You know, we want the ball to move, and we want it to be a shot that everybody on the bench is excited about it before the result. So we want to, we don't, the result is great, but the process is what we're looking for. So the ball moves, the court changes over a couple times, and now we got to step in rhythm shot. I thought actually we probably may have turned down a couple that we would normally want to shoot, but we're starting to get an understanding of the value of that ball moving, of player movement, and the ball changing sides of the floor. And when I say the value of that, because what happens if you do it well, guys step away from the basket to defend it, and then we got cuts and passes at the rim.
I thought they actually did a decent job of defending your backdoor cuts. There were some games where you're getting a lot of backdoor cuts.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get that many, I thought. Do you think that's part of the, okay, if you're going to really have that on your mind, you can't be everywhere? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and that's what we're telling our guys. Don't worry about looking for one thing. It will present itself. You know, what's available will present itself. It's sort of like they tell quarterbacks, you won't go broke taking a profit. So take what's there, and as the game wears on, maybe some other things will become available. So we had some. They recovered and made a great block on a backdoor. So in a couple we didn't finish around the basket, but the cuts were good, the passes were good, and a couple we forced, and we had some turnovers. So and I thought that was big. I thought it was, and you guys hit on it, us being able to pick up and establish some pressure without necessarily having to trap it, but just keeping the pressure on, and see if we could wear them down a little bit.
What did it mean to you to be part of an event in this building, considering your history with the games here?
Yeah, I was telling the staff, remember working here the first 3 months of the building. I'm sorry, the last 3 months of the odd in the first 18 months. And I remember coming over here, putting the hard hat on, and I've got some text messages from the people that I was working with. I saw some familiar faces when I came in. Some people are still working here. And, 20 years ago, we were, a little more than 20 years ago now, we were meeting people at the odd. I'd meet people over there and have a hard hat, construction hat, and I'd walk them over here and say, okay, this is going to be the club section, and it was like no seats or anything. So just trust me, this is going to be the club section, and over here is going to be this, and over here is going to be that, and so there's a lot of members. I remember the day the scoreboard came down and crashed, and certainly I remember the first college basketball game in here. I remember the first event, preseason hockey game. I brought my dad to, and I remember the first college basketball games, and we put a lot of work into to kind of galvanize the basketball community and to get them in there to that event. And they were 2 great games. And so, yeah, I do have fond memories of that.
Both teams played big.